My friend told me he liked my girlfriend but doesn't know that I'm already with her. My girlfriend and I have been officially together for a couple of months but were in a situationship for the past 9 months until she finally asked us to be official and I agreed. Since that time, we decided to keep the relationship a bit private, so the people that asked us about the relationship know that we're in one. A new person joined our little circle of friends several months ago, after my girlfriend and I were already in the situationship, and became fast friends with everyone, especially my girlfriend. I would notice him try to establish something with her, like hanging out with her and other things, which is fine with me. She should hang out with other friends too. But I thought something was up because he was being super nice to her and gave her a lot of gifts. I only asked my girlfriend once about it but said that she didn't think he'd actually confess like that. Was I wrong to confront her like that? I kind of picked up signs that something was brewing, but I wasn't insecure or jealous about him stealing my girlfriend, so I just left it alone. One day my friend wanted to talk to me about something that was bugging him, and he hinted that he had feelings towards someone. I kind of pieced things together and realized that he was talking about my girlfriend. I didn't want to force him to say that though, I wanted him to do it on his own accord. I gave him some reassurance that he didn't have to say it if he wanted to, but he ended up choosing to say what he had to say, and that he admitted liked my girlfriend. I wasn't shocked that I had my suspicions of his feelings towards her though, it was kind of obvious by the way he was interacting with her. He told me this because he trusted me fully on this, not knowing I'm part of the problem he was facing. I just couldn't believe me he picked me out of all people to tell the secret to. I'm the only one that knows. He then asked about how close I was to her, but I just couldn't muster up the courage to tell him that I'm the one she's with because it would ultimately shatter him. Should I have just ripped the band-aid there? I thought about it the next day and I probably should have. He also asked me what he should do about it, and I told him he had 2 choices, confront her and get rejected knowing that she's in a relationship to get closure, or forget about being with her. I have a feeling he'll try to get closure on this though. I didn't want to answer that question though, but I felt like I had no choice. I ended up telling my girlfriend because it just caused me so much anguish, but I regret it now because I needed help on what I should do, and she too now feels awful. She had other things going on in her life which she didn't disclose to me, and I pretty much added this to her list of worries. Was it even the right choice for me to do this? I just couldn't handle all of this and I apologize. I'm just not sure how to go about this. I've thought about it a lot and I pretty much lose no matter what I decide to go with. I pretty much accepted that I'll lose this person as a friend because we decided to keep our relationship private. Even if this storm passes, I feel like I'm about to lose her too. This has been weighing on us a lot. How should I even tell him that I'm the one she's with? He's definitely going to feel some sort of negative emotion towards me and I can't blame him because his feelings are valid. Next story 2. I accidentally made my partner wait outside at 4 a.m. for over an hour. Is it over? So for context, me and my partner have been living at my mom's house for a while now. Things have been up and down for us both, so although it's not the most ideal living arrangement, it's made things slightly easier during this rough patch. However, with situations like this it's becoming a problem. I've never been so serious and so in love with someone, so I believe sometimes it definitively clouds my judgment on situations, but this time I think I really messed up unintentionally. Last night he messaged from work to say he wanted to come home early as he wasn't feeling too good. He works nights. I agreed to stay up until he was ready to come home so I could order him an Uber cause public transport is not 24 hours here and we don't drive. Originally he said he'd be done by 2 a.m. so I waited up. He then didn't communicate with me until 3 a.m. and at that point I was shattered. I didn't complain though, I just ordered him the cab and waited for him to be in it, so I knew I'd done what I needed to help. This is where it goes tits up. Sidebar: before I continue, every time he leaves for work my first question is, "Do you have your key?" His response was, "Yes, it's in my pocket." So as far as I was concerned, I'd done my job for the night. I could finally rest, phone back on silent, and he'd be home soon for cuddles. But no, he didn't have his key, and of course I was fast asleep and didn't hear my phone to the point he rang it so many times it died. He didn't ring the bell cause he didn't want it to wake up my mom or son. 5, but 2bh I would have rather he did. So he ended up waiting outside for over an hour until I eventually woke up, realized he wasn't in bed, and my phone was dead. I could literally feel the panic rush throughout my body, and I shot up to rush to the door and saw him standing there. I was met by some F's and offs and I knew it wasn't good. He is so angry at me, and I completely understand why, but then my argument is, I ask him about his key to avoid this very situation from happening because I know myself and I can drop like a fly when I'm tired. Anyway, I'm not asking who's in the wrong because nothing was done intentionally or maliciously, it's just a shitty situation. I just have no idea how to make things right. I know we'll probably get through it, but then I also can see that this is bigger than any other time we've argued and I genuinely do feel so horrible about it. How do I apologize but also stress to him that he needs to be more responsible? Comment. What is wrong with this loser? He's 27. Why can't he call his own Uber? Why doesn't he have his keys? That's totally ridiculous to me. He's 100% in the wrong here. He needs to grow up. Don't apologize. Tell him he's not a child. So you are in charge of his transportation and also for policing him on carrying keys at the age of 27? He expects you to continually wait up for him for over an hour after he said he would need you to. I understand his frustration for being stuck outside, but he needs to own that this isn't all your fault. He needs to take on some adult responsibility, carry his own keys and learn to order his own Uber. You guys live with your mom, it doesn't really sound like he is financially taking care of anything. You didn't do anything wrong. He assured you he had his keys, he could have called his own Uber, not tech savvy my ass, he is 27 not 90, and he didn't need to keep you up an extra hour than what he said he needed. Get yourself a boyfriend who is more responsible and won't make you feel like shit for his actions. Sounds like a big baby. I know life can get hard, but damn, you should have your shit together at 27, especially if you have kids together. I'm not even so much judging your financial situation as much as I'm judging your BF not holding himself accountable for his own inability to have his keys to get in the house. That shit ain't your fault. As far as your question, is it over? If it is, then he's a POS. Next story 3. My partner 32M has progressively changed into someone I didn't fall in love with. How do I 21NB navigate this? As the title implies, I realized for past few months how my current relationship with, let's call him Jay, has actually not been good. We have been together for almost 3 years and engaged for 1. Jay has severe ADHD and has trouble doing anything along with anxiety and depression, as I have BPD, ASD, and severe anxiety and depression. He lives with his mother since he moved from a city, with had daily stabbings and shootings, along with his brother to go to an ADHD program that helps him find a suitable job. Our relationship has had a few bumps, but every time I came to see him, he seemed just worse and gradually becoming a person I don't recognize. Last visit, his mother, Liz 57F, who also has severe ADHD and CPTSD, helped me clean my partner's part of the house whilst having broken ribs and wrist injury. She volunteered to clean. I didn't ask her to help me. Situation got so bad that there were flies everywhere and even maggots. We cleaned for 6 hours straight and then told Jay that he seriously needs to seek better help and try to keep it clean. Not a day later it was all trashed again. I visit him as much as possible as we are long distance and I am a medical student, meanwhile he doesn't work and lives off sick leave check. I spoke to Jay about this and he kept putting it off, not sleeping for many nights, not taking medication when sick, and overall being reckless. He said he doesn't see how he is self-destructive and sees himself as completely fine. It didn't get better when I relapsed and developed an alcohol problem. I have a SH addiction as well as trauma related to SA and abuse, and when he told me I can tell him everything because if I don't, and I quote, I do not know what we are, then I told him about my relapse after the college exams, strong depressive episode and overall stress. I knew he would be upset, but he straight up yelled at me, which he haven't done ever. Lately we have been talking less ever since he revealed that he's insecure about my celebrity crush and how openly I talked about during the concert we went to, which was in March. Our sex life took a huge decline this year as well. I need advice on what to do. I don't feel loved anymore and I just feel like a nurse/caretaker. Comment. It sounds like you already know you want to break up and move on. I know things get very complicated with so many overlapping and conflicting traumas/identities, but in my eyes, the biggest reason to leave is the fact that he can't see how his actions harm himself or you, and how that inability has damaged your relationship. Also, because it should be said, even though I'm sure you've heard it before, the age gap is a little off-putting outside looking in. Maybe it feels like you two have been very compatible, or were at some time, but when you're 29 I think it might dawn on you how odd it is to be trying to establish a serious relationship with an 18-19-year-old. I think you'll find too that if you are able to make a clean break from this relationship, after you've healed some from it, you'll find yourself more in tune with people closer to your age. Anyways, Best of luck. I know navigating love life with neurodivergency and complicated trauma is tough in its own right, but I hope you find yourself in a space with someone who wants to build instead of break. Why are you staying with someone you don't want to be with?